So today, endurance stuff. So we're gonna meditate for an hour, maybe a little more, unguided. What's up, yo yo? Uh, but we're gonna play a game for that whole hour. So I'm not sure if everyone was here when we worked with this like accountability drill. So we're holding ourselves accountable in this exercise to our distraction. Because the truth is, I think that when we are distracted, if we analyze the thoughts we think, the thoughts that lure us into sort of our stream of consciousness, they're entertaining enough. They hold the drama of our lives and the opportunity of our dreams, and that's sort of it's good, it's valuable, and it's pleasurable to experience. And so when we hold ourselves accountable to that distraction by breaking the meditation, what I found is that it makes us less likely to be distracted. So what we're going to do is you're going to close your eyes, you're going to focus on a subtle sensation within your body, and every time, this is up to you to decide, but every time you feel that you were actually distracted, you lost sense of the sensations that you were focusing on, or a thought came and just sort of pulled you away from the sensations partially. How strict you want to be with what is distraction, again, is yours to figure out. But every time you're going to open your eyes, bring your hands to heart center, and then close your eyes and resume your meditation. You might be doing this quite often for the hour, but as it becomes more irritating, you're gonna muster up the willpower to feel without being pulled into the thought stream. So should be super cool. It's definitely an informative practice. The other thing I wanted to talk to is sort of questioning why we might be unwilling to push back our thought process. And so the simple answer is that it's physiological. And so a section of our brain is designed to focus, a section of our brain is designed to wander through its thoughts. And these sections are cyclical. So one turns on, one turns off, and they can't stay on. One can't stay on forever. And so it's inevitable that we will wander into thought, and also inevitable that we'll return back to focus, which I'm sure is your experience. But there's also some conceptual information that might inform us as to why we are so willing to wander through thoughts. And those concepts, they'll give us a little power over that split-second moment where we can choose to sort of bypass the thought or stay focused on our object of attention. And so let's just open it up with a story. Indra. So Hinduism has many gods, and it sort of has schools of gods. There are sort of new gods, and there are ancient gods. And so Indra is a more ancient god. He is the god of heaven, and he is the most mentioned god in the Rig Veda, which is the oldest book in history. So a farmer is farming, he's living his life, but the rains cease to come. And in that, the animals start becoming desperate and start sort of eating on the fields, the farmlands. And he, as a farmer, is getting older, he's getting tired, he's getting weaker, and he doesn't find that he has the vitality to deal with this environmental problem. And so one day, as fortune has it, he sees Indra walking through the foothills, and he approaches Indra, the god of heaven. He says, "Indra, please, can you bring the rains and protect my farmlands, or at least give me the vitality to manage the circumstance?" And Indra says, "No, I can't do that because your situation is part of a bigger situation, and the universe is a complicated thing that I am responsible for, and everything can't always exist in abundance. Therefore, no, you cannot have what you ask for now." And then the farmer continues to beg and plead. Indra eventually makes his way, wandering through the foothills. And he's still in earshot of the farmer. And at that point, the farmer curses Indra. And he says, "If I had all the power that you have, I could certainly find a way to balance out the heavens and make sure that everyone existed in perpetual happiness and abundance." And I find, this character reflects sort of how we, might unconsciously or consciously diminish those that have power and diminish the burden of their power. Trump or politicians are easy examples. It's like, what is the consequence of any choice that you're going to make throughout the day? It pretty much just orbits your life, maybe those closest to you. But to have, an entire nation or an entire world under the consequence of your choice It's difficult. And so this farmer does what we all do because he's a reflection of the human condition, diminishes those that have power and diminishes the responsibility of power. So then he gains all this power, or Indra, he's like, I will give you what you want, but through a lesson, and I will give you my power. I'm not going to give you the rain. I'm not going to give you the protection for your farms. I'm not going to give you the vitality. I'm just going to give you my power, and in that, my responsibility. And the farmer is enthralled. And so he gains the power, and immediately he bestows upon himself his wishes. The rains come, the farms are protected, he has his strength, and he continues to sort of give himself what he wants, which is what most people would naturally do. And eventually rumors start to buzz that neighboring villages are being flooded because of the rains, and villages to the north are experiencing drought because the rain clouds are sort of occupying the southern fields. And then from there, the farmer gets tired. He's getting tired of managing his little plot, and in that, the sun starts to rise a bit later, and the seasons stop coming when they're supposed to come, and as everything starts to sort of crumble, the farmer loses the vitality, loses the willingness to sort of stay engaged with the whole sort of process, and in that starts to forget when the rains were supposed to come, when the drought was supposed to come, when he was supposed to have his prosperity, and when other territories were supposed to have their prosperity. And in the chaos of it all, he reaches back out to Indra. Indra, can you take your powers back, please? This is too much for me. Indra takes the powers back and sort of resets the order. And so that story is sort of expressing how we interact with our thought process. If we analyze our thoughts, and again, this is sort of like the conceptual value, we're going to realize that what we are trying to do is project order, project our own power into our future. And while we know we don't have the power to shape the world and shape the future directly, we still sort of entertain the possibility by thinking about it. And so when we become willing to renounce our power, even over our own little lives, we're sort of like the farmer giving his power back to Indra, back to, nature, back to higher order. And in that, we are willing to sit and sort of tolerate what might come, what might not come, and allow the mind to sort of cease its power grabs and cease its need to understand and need to control, so that we can actually resume our work and just feel the sensations in our body. Does that make sense? Cool. So it's like when you start getting distracted today, just take a second and analyze what is the content of your thinking. And you'll see that it's like you're a farmer that wants more, protection over your plot. You want more of this, you want more of that. You want things to stop taking away from you. You want more rains, you want more money, you want more success, you want more skill, you want more everything. And so the farmer becomes the perfect analogy for at least the character that exists in our heads, the character that we are so willing to become when we are distracted in our practice. Awesome. So with that being said, let's get into this. An hour, maybe an hour and 10 of accountability drills. Again, as I get distracted, as I grasp for the power, I'll open my eyes, close my eyes, and as I work to feel the subtle sensations in my body, I relinquish the need to control my experience. Lovely. Yeah, what's up, Cassie? No, yeah, you don't have to say that now. You don't have to say anything. What I say personally is prakriti. And so prakriti is the expression of nature, of manifested existence. And it's the beauty. It's like if you look out and you look at your computer, you look at your phone, you look at whatever's in front of you, it's like all things are inherently beautiful. Like even the dust bunnies that might like be rolling through the floor, because it exists. And so when I open my eyes, I just say prakriti, and I make sure to enjoy whatever it is that's in front of me, and then I'll close my eyes again. Cool, everyone. All right, let's get into this. 1 hour of accountability drills. It should be super informative. Comfortable seated position. And I'll just guide you through the process. And build your stillness alongside your posture simultaneously. So the hips tilt forward, the belly draws in. Feel the buoyancy in your chest. Rest your wrists on your knees, straighten your arms completely. Rotate your palms up to the sky, spread your fingers wide, shut your jaw, press your tongue into the back of your two front teeth. Okay, now everyone, tilt the hips a little further forward, lift the chest a bit more to increase your experience of confidence. But notice, that's what comes up, confidence. The Sanskrit term is Shakti, it's power. And so, unlike Indra, the ancient god of heaven, we don't have power to shape all the systems of the universe. But we certainly have enough power to straighten our arms and sit upright. And hopefully enough power to do it for an hour. Now feel the fingertips. And let's just spend a couple moments focusing on the tingling, buzzing sensation inside the skin. This is the aliveness of your body. Prana Shakti, cosmic power. It's blood flow, nerve sensation, air temperature, and air pressure, all mixed up into this anonymous, subtle, euphoric buzz. And so at this point, what is meditation? It is the practice of developing a relationship with the most subtle personal experience. Now quickly bring a random finger to each thumb. Now slow down your breath. Deep inhales, deep exhales. To empower your breath, always breathe more slowly. And as you breathe more slowly, you should find it's easier to relax into your rigidity. The spine stays tall, the arms stay straight, but the muscles around the bones can soften. So as you slow down your breath, it should be easier to soften your body. And as you soften your body, your experience of stillness increases. So just notice that, a couple moments. As the muscles soften and stillness increases, that tingling buzz should become more obvious. So tight muscles are like ice. There is no ripple, everything is frozen. Soft muscles are like fluid water. And sukshma, these subtle sensations, ripple through the tissues, making their euphoria more accessible. Now I'm going to suggest we all focus on the forehead today. But if another part of your body captures your attention, of course, focus on that. Now there are different degrees of distraction. from whatever space you're focusing on, forehead or other, focus on something else. Another part of your body, a sound around you. And you might still be feeling the forehead or that other place of choice, and at the same time the mind wanders, as if your awareness splits. Come back to the forehead. And now notice while you're focusing, you are thinking. Put shape to your thoughts. An easy way to recognize your thought process is to just ask the question, am I optimistic or pessimistic right now? Am I open to this or rejecting this experience? And once you recognize your charge, positive or negative, immediately all the thoughts that inform you of that optimism or pessimism become apparent. And all I'd like you to do is recognize that within every thought, there is the hope of power, the power to make this moment more fulfilling. Or better said, the hope for power. It is a strategy, it is a judgment, it is an analysis. Our minds are the farmers begging Indra for the power to gain what they want. And the moral of that story is that once we gain that power, it proves to be burdensome, exhausting, that it is much more fulfilling to exist within ourselves and let the cycles of experience, let destiny, let the future be what it is. And so for this entire meditation, from time to time, think of the farmer begging to renounce their power back to Indra. And in that, we become a meditator renouncing the mind. Every time you get distracted, open your eyes, bring your hands to heart center, and then resume your focus. Let's all take a deep breath in together. And a slow exhale. Accountability practice. Timer has gone off. You'll hear my voice in about 50 minutes. Slow down your breath. At its simplest, this is a process of feeling, the most subtle internal thing. By committing to that seemingly purposeless task, we put ourselves into a certain mode. A mode that manifests physiological peace and mental clarity. From that, it permits us to perceive the world in a different way. And so whether you get distracted or remain focused, don't open your eyes anymore. Don't bring your hands to your heart anymore. Just pay attention to your environment. And so at this point,